Hello guys, welcome to our math online classes. Today's topic is going to be about a review about decimals, ratios, and percentages. How we relate these three concepts together. Okay guys, let's begin with decimals. We have this number, which is a decimal, as you can see. Okay, well, it's 0.50 or it could be 0.5. Okay, well, I want to change it into a ratio and I like to be related to percentage. So, as you know, percentage is related to 100. So I will have to make a ratio in which everything should be divided by 100. And this number shouldn't change because if I divide the upper number, I have to multiply the same number. And then I will have 50. So this decimal number changed into a ratio becomes 50 over 100. Well, then what would that mean? That would mean that this is a 50%. Very simple, right? Because 50 is a part of 100. Okay, is it understood? I think this is a very simple way of changing decimals into ratio and the ratio into percentage. Well, let's find out what happens if I have this decimal number. Well, again, it's going to be a ratio. This should be multiplied by 100 and this becomes 73 hundredths, which in terms of percentage will be 73%. Okay, what happens if my number is bigger than 0, like 2.50 or whatever, okay? Because if I can, any number here or zeros, it doesn't make sense. Well, again, it's a ratio, have to multiply by 100. And this is going to become 205, which in turn will be, as a percentage, 205%. That means that this number is 2 times bigger than the original one. Okay? Well, is it understood? I think this is clear. Now let's use a few examples. Let's see that you have a ratio. Okay, a ratio, like you have 3 of something that's 3 to 8, which probably it's related to 24%, and you want to know how much is 3 from 8 related to 24 as a number. Well, what I can do is apply the the cross multiplication, and what I have to do is multiply 8 times x, which will be equal to 3 times 24. Okay, but I need to cancel out 8 and I need x to be alone. So I use the inverse property of the numbers. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I will have to divide both sides by 8. So this will be cancelled out. But now I have to make the division. 1/8 is 1/8, and how many 8s are there in 24? There are 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9. As you can see, x is going to be equals to 9. Very simple, right? Well, sometimes you will see that x is in another ratio or another term into the other term. Let's see what happens if it's under the denominator. Well, don't panic. It's simple. You just use cross multiplication again. And then you have to complete the answer like, always remember, put x to the right, to the left, I like to have it. This would be 36 times x equals to 6 times 40. Again, I will have to isolate x, so that I have to use the property of inverse and divide 36 on both terms, on both sides. They are canceled out, so doing all these operations, we will have 240 divided by 36, which will give me the answer of 6.6666. It's a repeated decimal, so I put a line that says that x is equal to 6.66. Okay? Wonderful. Well, just to wrap up things, let's use another example. I want to know, just to remember, how much is the 83% of, let's see, $500? Okay, this is an example. Well, first of all, I have to change this into a decimal form. And how do we do that? 83 divided by 100 is going to give me, guess how much? 0.83. 8.83 is going to be multiplied by 500. Since remember, the percentages here have been canceled out, and the only thing it's left is money. So if you do this multiplication, the answer will be $415, which makes sense because 83 is very close to 90, and this should be less than 50. Okay? Is it understood? All right. What happens if my percentage is with a fraction? All right? And I want to know how much is this percentage of, let's see, $750. Okay? Well, I have to change this into fraction and finally divide by 100. Doing all these operations, I will have 5.125. And this should be divided by 100. And this will, of course, be 0.0512 times 750. And guess how much is going to be the answer? Okay, well, since this is a very small percentage, the answer will be very short too. It will be $38.4. So the answer here is $38.40. All right. This is the way we can use and remember how much is this answer, right? So 50%, 5/8% of 750 is equal to $38.40. All right? Sorry, my marker is dying. I will repeat it here. $38.40. Okay, so this is the way you can solve all these questions. I hope you understood and do your exercises. Well, enjoy your day. We'll see you next class. God bless you. Bye.